Important settings you must know in VSDC video editor. These are important when you're just beginning out with VSDC. Hello everyone, my name is Joshua and today is yet another interesting and exciting day here at Realms of Glory Fusion. And in today's video, as I said, I'm going to be teaching you some important settings you need to know when beginning out with VSDC video editor. So buckle your seatbelts, let's go. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you some settings you must know when beginning out with VSDC video editor. You see right here, let me go straight to a blank project. So when I click a blank project, these project settings come up, and these are the important settings you must first do when beginning out a project. As you see here, there is project title, so you give your project a title, and as you see, there are a couple of more things here like the author, the copyright, the publisher, the description. Actually, these are not very important, so you can skip those. And on this lower part of the video, you see the device configuration, and as you see here, there is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, iPhone, Android, and DVD. So if you're doing a video for any of these platforms, it's better you just choose one of these platforms. For example, you can choose YouTube here, or if you're not sure where your video is going to be uploaded to, then you leave it at free configuration. Then with the resolution, there are a couple of resolutions here. As you see, this is the best resolution in VSDC video editor. There's Ultra HD 4K 3840 by 2160 pixels. That's the best resolution here. And as you see, you want to pay attention to this 16 by 9. This gives horizontal videos just like this you're seeing right now. It gives the horizontal videos, so you want to pay attention to this 16 by 9 when choosing a resolution for your video. There is Ultra 4K, this one. Then there is another here, Full HD 1920 by 1080 pixels. Then there is also HD 1280 by 720 pixels. Then there are others right here, but I would not recommend you to use these others because the resolution will be quite low. So if you're to use, your worst resolution should be around 1280 by 720 pixels. So that's it for the resolution. And the frame rate, this actually sometimes depends on your camera. If you captured footage on your camera, for example, if you captured footage with 30 frames per second, then just choose 30 frames per second. If your camera captures at 60 frames per second, then take 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. That's if your camera captures at 120 frames per second. This is it for the frame rate. But if you don't know, like if you just downloaded your video from somewhere else, then there you can choose 30 frames per second is enough. But if you're going to be slowing down that video, then I would recommend you to use 60 frames per second, because this can enable slow motion. And if you want it more slow, then you can go to 120 frames per second. The higher the frame rate, the better the results. So that's it with the frame rate. Then as you see here, the background, the default background of VSDC is ever black, so you can just select any, but I'll show you how to do this later on in the editor. So let me just cancel this. Then there is opacity. This one deals with the background. This opacity, this means you can't look through the background. It's at 100%, but you can reduce this if you want. So this is it with the project settings. So I just click finish right here. So this is VSDC, and as you see, you can adjust the screen the way you want. For example, you can move these, you can expand these, you can just move it around. You can auto hide these features, like if I auto hide that, then even here I come and auto hide this. As you see here, the project explorer just comes up, the template explorer just comes up, then the object explorer comes up. You see they're just auto hidden, so you just come and tap and it comes up. But should you by mistake just close this and you're looking for it everywhere, don't worry, just come here to view. Then as you see here, it's not highlighted, so you just highlight it and it pops back. As you see here, it just popped back. So that's it with these windows on the sides. So now the next thing I'm going to be teaching you is these options right here. So if you go to these options, first of all, let me teach you with the saving options. Like if I come here to saving options, and there's automatically save the project every, you can select, like here I put it on 15 minutes. If you don't want it to save, you just put never, but it's better to put it to save. Like for me, I put it after every 15 minutes. So after every 15 minutes, my project auto saves. I don't need to save it manually by clicking Ctrl S or by going there and saving as. No, here my project saves automatically after every 15 minutes. So this is a very important setting to know when you're beginning out. And you see there are more options here, like general settings. Like if you have another language, you can change language. If you want to change language to any other language, you just change right here. Then there are updates. You can put them every month or whenever you want. Then now the style used, this is very important. The style used, like I use Office 16 black. Like it depends on the Microsoft Office software that is on your PC currently. If your PC has Microsoft Office 16, then you can use 16, or you can use the lower versions like 2007 or 2010, or if it has higher, you can use the higher one, but you can't use what's not on your PC. So that's it with this. As you see here, there are other settings like acceleration options. As you see here, there's acceleration, like use hardware for acceleration of encoding video. Let me just leave these settings, they are not very important for now. You can look through them if you are interested to change, but in case you make any errors, you just come here to reset to defaults. So let me cancel this. So let me just show you a couple of views that are in VSDC Video Editor. The first one is this. Second one is this. The third one is this. The fourth one is this. Then this. You may be wondering how I did that. Let me just show you from where I did it. You can either press on your keyboard Ctrl Alt, then you press 1, 2, 3 up to 5. Those are the views that are on VSDC. But you can go right here up to where you see your options, but this Pens Manager, as you see here. So you click that, then there's the classic, and that's the one we use mostly. That's the classic view. Then we have the prime view, then we have the color view. That's to deal with usually the color grading. Then we have the libraries view, like this one shows more of these windows and minimizes this. Then we have the timeline view. This one shows only the timeline. As you see, this is the timeline, and this is where most of our edits happen. So back to the classic view, this is the one we use, and as I told you, you can just auto hide these by just clicking the spin, auto hide, and it takes us back to where we were. So that's it. And as I promised you, I'll be showing you how to change the background. So I come here to my properties window. Let me just stick this with the pin, and as you see here, there is background color. So you just click on this, and now you can change your background to any color of your choice. For example, if I want green, so I just click OK, and as you see, my background changes automatically to green. Let me just take it back to black. Black is more comfortable for my eyes, so let me just take it back to black. And that's it for the basic settings you need to know. So there are more settings here, like export project. When you're exporting a project, that's converting your work into a final video. There are a couple of settings here, like for me, I use the web. There are video formats here, like here, media players and devices. For me, I put web because all my videos come to YouTube, so it's web based. If you're doing videos for Android, you can go to Android. If you're doing for DVD, you can go to DVD. If you're doing for any of those platforms, you can click on any of them. But for me, I use web. And here are the formats, several formats you have. You have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all these MP4, all these. I can also use MP4. So if you're done with your project, you just come here to export project, and you just click continue. So it will just automatically change your project into a video. But before that, maybe you'd want to select where the video is going to go, so that you don't have to look for it. If you come here to change name, you can select a folder where your video is going to be going, and you click save. So that's it for exporting a video. Go back to my projects. So these are, you can look through all these tabs and see what you can do. Most of these settings, you'll learn them as you keep editing. So that's it for today's video. If you got any value out of it, consider hitting that like button and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.